what's up everybody, Dr. Amanda White here, and I'm here with Jamie Fleming. You might think he looks familiar. When he turned up in my class, I'm like, who is this kid and why do I think I know him? And you might have seen him on TV before on a little show called Masterchef.
A few years ago now.
And you're a UTS business graduate.
I never graduated.
You never graduated? UTS, we should give him a degree. No, I have no approval to say that.
That's all right.
So, you came to my attention studying in my audit class.
Yep.
What were you studying at UTS?
I was studying Bachelor of Business with a major of accounting and major of finance. Yep.
And then, what made you decide, hey, this isn't for me? Was it the Masterchef thing?
No, the Masterchef thing. I think going back to uni after Masterchef was testament to what I thought of the Masterchef thing. I got given a really fantastic job opportunity. At the time I was studying, so while I was in the audit class, I was just had my second child.
You look sleep deprived. That probably explains why at student consultations you were there
I was just
cramming.
There. Yeah, absolutely. I just had a second child. I was also
you're doing kitchen work, I think, like work experience?
Managing.
You were managing that place down.
Yeah, so I came out just after head chef. I'm trying to think now. When was it?
Too many jobs. But you went out into the food industry.
Yeah, because I always started in the food industry, so I've been in hospitality since I was 14, so
wow.
17, nearly 18 years now.
And so what made you think, hey, I'm going to go to uni and study accounting of all things?
It was application, I suppose. I always knew I wanted to be a business owner. I had, this vision of screw it. It's a tough industry that we're in.
It is. My family's been in hospitality their entire lives.
Yeah, okay.
So my dad's done the restaurant thing, the 7 days a week, lunches, dinners, late nights. My dad dropped us off at school every day because he didn't have to get to work till like 11. So, did you think like accounting was going to give you some sort of...
I thought it was... accounting was like... I went in with the intention of finishing finance, and there was the concept of going in and potentially going into one of the big finance institutions, going to brokerage or something like that. But at the end of the day, I figured if I'm going to go into one of those and I'm going to be trying to find opportunities for good investment, the best thing you can possibly have is a deep understanding of how to read the books properly and not just take people's advice. Like, hey, we're doing really well, and then you look at your documents and you're like, what? No, it's all on paper. For me it was sort of the no-brainer part of the degree. Like accounting as a subject and as to have an understanding of it is only going to benefit anything you do in the financial industry.
And in the own your own business industry.
Absolutely. Which, I think I kidded myself for a couple of years during the degree of like, no, I can do it. Because that was it. I was, so during my degree, I was working 80 hours a week, had a brand new child, and trying to do 4 subjects, which for the first year, breeze. 4 subjects, easy.
Not what we recommend.
Easy marks. Just do the work. And then managing a family and working 50, 60 hours a week managing a bar while you're trying to...
It's not like a 9-to-5 job, right? Where you could be there to help with bath time and bedtime and... No.
I had pretty strict rules that I set for myself. So Sunday I did no uni work. I did no work. Had my phone off, and so that's pure family time. But other than that, I'd be Monday morning 9 o'clock at campus, go straight from campus to work until 1, 2 in the morning. Up at 7 the next day, repeat cycle. So,
So now, thinking about everything that you've learned, has accounting been useful in setting up this sort of place?
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're in Brisbane, you should definitely drop by here. When you're walking down the laneway, you might think that you're walking into, I don't know, a dead-end alley full of dumpsters and delivery trucks, but just keep walking.
Yeah. The same vibe as you get at all the good bars in Sydney. So.
And we're next to a place called Death and Taxes,
Death and
I think.
Taxes,
So,
yeah.
you know, this is definitely in a good accounting theme.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
how do you use accounting in your role as, you know, the big boss and in charge?
Oh, every day. You know, even from, you know, it was purely the things that I learned about projections and what I should be looking for, and in terms of setting out, okay, what are we going to earn? What is the rent, the costs, fixed costs?
Fixed costs, variable costs, management accounting right there.
Exactly. And then
I'm pretty sure you're not product costing out your lamb pies to the individual.
yeah.
Does that all goes into pricing as well?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's, you know, what we get it in, you weigh it beforehand, have the costings, you weigh it after it's cooked, then shredded, how many serves do you get out of this amount of kilos, okay, what does that equate to, you know, we measure how much pastry goes into it to attribute a cost to it, and then you end up and then make the calculations to hit a correct GP, and so
That's awesome. So it's not just like random, I'll pick a number and this will be it.
Everything's very considered. You know,
What should be, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because you are working on really fine margins. Obviously, for me as a business owner, I want to charge up here and pay down here. But for me as a consumer, and somebody that wants to, but even on the other hand, someone that wants to provide a fantastic experience and something that you may not have tried before, I try as hard as I can to find the products that you don't get everywhere, and that comes with a cost. So you have to figure out, okay,
There's some premium.
well, absolutely, there's a premium, but it's
not
figuring out.
McDonald's.
No, exactly. But it's figuring out. You know, it's a lot to do with opportunity cost, even down to the fact that, you know, we don't take bookings, and we don't really close for private functions, and that's very deliberate because for me, as starting something new, we've set that out as who we are and what we do, and it seems simple. Like there's heaps of places in Sydney that do it. It's pretty uncommon up here.
Oh, okay.
To have a no booking policy, but for me, if I do book out for like an hour or 2 hours, the opportunity cost for me that I have to consider is the fact, okay, those people that now know it as the place that's always open and we can always go, if they rock up and all of a sudden it's not, you're letting them down. So and likewise, what I would like to be getting out of GP on a lot of
GP, he means gross profit, by the way. Just in case.
out of a lot of our wines, which we stock incredible wines. I probably spend 20 hours of my week just curating our list. I don't make as much as I would like, but again, it comes into, okay, well, am I giving that extra bit of service that's going to keep those people coming back? And then you take a little bit of a loss purely, and not that it's a loss, but you take not as much as you would like, just so you get them back.
When you want to build that repeat customer.
Absolutely. And you know, it's all about that rapport that you have with guests and them being able to trust you. But that all essentially comes. But you can have all the rapport in the world. If your costings aren't right, you're going down. I had a good conversation with a young bartender the other day, and I just finished paying my bills for the week, and he's like, "Oh, that must have hurt. Does it suck as a business owner to pay the bills?" And the only thing I said to him was like, "It'd suck if I didn't cost it right, so I couldn't." So it all comes back to that.
Awesome. And so tell me a little bit about this. So there's wine, there's a bit of beer,
A little bit.
there's cocktails, which look pretty amazing. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. There's some pretty awesome stuff there.
Yeah.
And then you've got sort of Spanish-inspired food,
Yeah.
it seems like. And then hip-hop.
Yeah. So I had a business previous to this as a sole trader that was a consultancy business. So I helped people open bars.
Is this before Diageo?
Before Diageo.
Okay.
While I was in your class, actually, that's when I started the company. That's why it petered off at the end, because I had 2 openings I was finishing things with one job and I was trying to cram for your subject.
Well, I once asked, I think I asked you at the time, what is more difficult, the mystery box or the audit exam? And do you remember what you said?
The mystery box?
No, you said the exam.
Did I?
You said the audit exam you thought was going to be harder. Before you said
that was before I said it, yeah.
We must have done the work there.
Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. 6 P's.
So why hip hop and had you traveled to this part of the world before?
No, this is why I brought up consultancy. The one piece of advice that I always gave to people, because most of the time when you're a consultant within the hospitality industry, you constantly come across people that want to open businesses and they come from a design background or a 9-to-5 background, and they have this concept oh, I like bars, I can open a bar with a bit of money, it's easy, I'll just take a holiday. I'm like, no. Try 120-hour weeks, then come back to me. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, isn't it just the hours that you open?
Yeah, no, not at all. But the number one piece of advice I always give to people is don't open a lounge room. Don't open the place that you want to be in every day just because you think that you want to be in, because the only people that will come are your friends, and odds are, as a new business owner, well, no, maybe, but odds are,
it wouldn't be for me.
You are going to end up giving away a lot of stock, which is something that I sort of, in the hospitality industry is very prevalent. But I try to do as little as I can. But this is the number one piece of advice that I gave to everybody, and then I just threw it into the air and did exactly what I did not take my own advice.
So you like hip hop?
I love hip hop. I love sherry and I love hamon.
And what's hamon?
Hamon is
not watched a lot of Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. So hamon is it's a delicious Spanish cured pork. Made the top quality is from Iberico pigs. So if you ever see sort of hamon Iberico, it's from a specific black Iberian pig that's fed walnuts for the last sort of 12 months. Do you have
pigs in your backyard feeding walnuts?
I wish. No, the best stuff does come from Spain. We do import it. And sherry, which is one.
Sherry sort of reminds me of a grandma drink.
Yep.
So you'll have to change my mind in a little bit.
That's the number one thing people say, and they're like, you mean the $4 stuff that my grandma has for trifle at Christmas? I'm like, no, it's an entire world. And I think, as you mentioned, I worked for Diageo for 4 years, who's the biggest spirits company in the world. And my entire life was going to top tier bars and sort of educating and helping judge competitions and trying to spread the word and give people as much information on how to create flavour as possible and utilise these great brands. And I think, funnily enough, myself and the other ambassadors, we would always come back to we'd always sort of get to the airport, and at the airport in Sydney there's Movida, and sit down and just have sherry, because it's not that sweet thing that your grandma drank 20 years ago that blue labelled McWilliams rubbish. It's an entire world, and a majority of sherry is bone.
I don't think my grandma bought the blue one. I think she bought the white one. Big. I have this photo of my grandma tipping up the flagon. I think she was trying to get the last bit out.
Yeah. So. And that's, particularly in Australia, that's what people think sherry is. When it's just a whole other style. It's wine. It's treated as such, and I'm drinking sherry right now, and it's bone dry. And I think after you have so many cocktails that just packed with sugar and packed with this and packed with that, and even really good ones, you just get fatigued and you're like, I just want something clean and crisp. And I developed a real love for sherry. So went against my own advice, and I decided to just open a bar that was my 3 favourite things. Hip hop.
It seems to be doing okay. It's quiet now because it's lunch.
Yeah, just after.
And I wanted to trap him before thousands of people, well not thousands, because there's what's your capacity?
We can fit 70 comfortably.
Before 70 people get here.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 150 through tonight. So 100 to 150 on a Thursday is about normal. But yeah.
How many days a week are you open?
We're open 6, so Monday to Saturday.
Sunday people have to just drink at home.
Well, Sunday my guys need to go to bars as well. we need to share the love. It's just being in the CBD again, and that's coming back to accounting. That's an opportunity cost that we have to figure out. obviously we're paying our fixed. We have to be here on Sundays. Like we're paying the rent.
Yeah.
I'm paying all the bills.
Fixed
But
costs.
are the variable costs worth us opening? And even if they do, make a small profit, what does that do to the lifestyle of
Mental health
of my staff members? So that was a big thing. Like I'm a big advocate for mental health and have been for a long time. I'm very open about what I go through within the hospitality industry, and have
It's stressful.
It's super stressful, and you mentioned Anthony Bourdain before. We celebrated, commiserated, whatever word you want to say, talk about Anthony Bourdain Day, 25th of last month. Unfortunately, it was a year since someone that I consider a mentor. I never met the guy, but in terms of someone who's helped shape the way I think about the world, super important to me. So yeah, that mental health aspect is definitely something that comes in as nothing that you can equate on paper, but it's something that you have to think about as a business owner.
So it's one of these non-financial
Correct.
things that you need to consider.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I want to thank Jamie for taking the time out to speak to me. I'm going to get you to make me a drink next. Does that sound all right?
Absolutely.
I am not a great alcohol drinker.
Okay.
So,
that's all right.
Only because I don't drink a lot. Like in the audit firm, I learned to drink a lot, but it was pretty, beer and bourbon and Coke.
That's okay.
Which I didn't like drinking either of them.
Well,
I did it as it's one of those social things you feel like you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But
don't be peer pressured. Don't be peer pressured.
Be peer pressured. So Jamie is proof that you can study accounting a bit, and it doesn't have to be the rest of your career. You can follow your passion and still use that knowledge to get the best outcome for yourself.
It's super applicable. I definitely don't. And even, I still, obviously,
Do you ever want to come back and finish? How many subjects have you got left?
I've got a year left. I've got 8 left.
Yeah, we don't do distance education.
No.
I don't think I could get them to grant you the rest of a free degree.
No, little bit difficult.
That's all right. We'll still claim Jamie as our own.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman. So
Hey, look, I claim UTS all the time. You guys have great restaurants around that area. I miss it dearly.
Do you miss the dumplings?
Yeah, grapes on the roof, man.
My place is like 4 restaurants big now around the block.
Yeah, well, it has been the whole time, just nobody knew it. But there's still the one on the left-hand side.
Corner?
That's the OG
Walking
one.
up the greasy steps.
Yeah, anyone that says...
They do breakfast now.
What?
Breakfast. So the next time you come to Sydney, let me know. I will take you for congee.
Yes.
And the fried breadstick, which comes out on the plate. It's about this big.
Yes. You chow. Delicious.
See, your Chinese is better than my Chinese. All right, thanks, Jamie, and I'll see everybody next time. Bye.